We're at 5249 Satsuma Avenue in North Hollywood, California, performing a video sewer inspection from the front main house at 5249 through the roof vent, 4-inch roof vent, because there is no mainline cleanout. As we run down into the vent area, you'll see where the cast iron is cracked and broken, and the cast iron line is fairly deteriorated and probably should be replaced. It is August 6th. August 6th, approximately 10:30 a.m. Right now, we are in the city sewer. We're going to pull back, and right at this city sewer saddle tie-in, you're going to see that it's holding water. We have a jet going over, so we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we're pulling back, and you'll see that we come right into water, or we go underwater. There's a separation right there at the saddle. I can barely see it, but there's a separation, and it's probably dropped down, and it might even be broken. Can't see it that well because we're underwater, but I can see that that joint separated, and as we pull back just a little bit from the saddle, we're holding a lot of water. So this line's going to have to be excavated and actually replace the 6-inch. You're not going to get this big belly out of it otherwise, even lining it. As we pulled back, we saw other areas. There were cracks and breaks in the 6-inch lateral. Right here we got a major crack about maybe 2-3 inches in front of the joint where we got roots growing through, and that may be where a lot of the settling came from, where we're getting this belly is because it's cracked and shifted, and there's the joint. You could line that if there wasn't a problem at the 6-inch, and there's another break here as well, back behind the joint. So you get the break in front of the joint, you have the joint, and then you have another break in the line right there. Have another crack. It's cracked all the way around. Can't line it, you're going to have to end up pulling a brand new line and probably replacing that saddle at the same time. There's another joint. That joint's just got a little bit of offset, not terrible there. Appears we have another crack in the pipe, possibly right here from what it looks like. It could be buildup, but I can't tell for sure. It may just be buildup on that one. We have some other substantial cracks and breaks. This line right here, we got a pretty good separation right there and a little bit of offset. Might have a crack in it, can't tell definitively on that joint. So far down by the saddle is the worst area in the 6-inch lateral. Right here though, we do have a break. This is all cracked and broken, as you can see off to the right hand side of the joint in that area. And it's shifted. You can see the top piece of the pipe, the face of the pipe at the top where it's shifted. Now we got another break here. We got a break in this area. We got another big crack all the way around the pipe, and then you have the joint. You have roots growing in through the crack in the pipe. This joint is difficult to tell. Doesn't look terrible. There might be a crack just inside. From what we can see on the left, you can see a line just inside the joint, and to the right a little bit. There could be a crack in there, but it doesn't really matter much, and that joint's offset where you can see the face of the pipe at the top again. So that's going to have to be corrected at the same time anyways when you pull a new line. This joint just separated a little bit and offset just a tiny bit, but not bad at all. Somebody's running water right now. That joint I can't really tell with the water running. Yeah, let me see if I can get back here. Got a crack in this joint right here, a crack in the pipe off to the right hand side, and got some offset right there. See the face of the pipe on the left, it shifted a little bit. You can see then this is broken. You can see it's got a crack all the way around, and then the joint that's broken. That's in the 4-inch transition now coming back. That joint doesn't look too bad. That joint is just separated a little bit. And this is in the 4-inch clay line now. Again, that shifted a little bit. We got a little offset going in that one. Coming into a turn, we've got roots in the turn, and that is broken and shifted. You can see at the bottom there's actually a little piece missing out of it right there as we make that turn. Got a little bit of root intrusion in that joint. That pipe is cracked at the bottom and going up the sides as well. Right here you can see the cracks in the pipe coming back. There it's broken. You got major cracks in it right at the transition from the cast iron. Coming back in the 4-inch. It's got some deterioration at the top. We've got some roots hanging down a little bit. So it gets holes in the pipe, it rots out, and roots start growing in a little. Then we got a good sized break right here. As you can see, it's cracked pretty well, and we got roots growing through there. That's underneath the house. And we're pulling back up through the vent. Checking the joints as we come back a little bit, see what that vent looks like, see if we've got any gaps in it, but I don't really see any gaps at this point. There's a little bit of a gap on that joint. It is separated there a little bit on the vent. And that concludes our video sewer house. We ran through a 2-inch clean out. There were several turns. We couldn't get out that far. We could only get out about 25-30 feet. We found a transition area from plastic to clay that had a separation back there, a little offset, which needs to be fixed, and install a couple cleanouts, one going out to the street and one going back toward the building, because there are no mainline cleanouts on the back property. And also the same thing, a mainline cleanout needs to be installed. That concludes our video sewer inspection.